Hi, welcome to Unix Academy. This is Jyoti. In this video, topic is resource requirements in Kubernetes. Kubernetes is a powerful tool for managing and utilizing available resources to run a containers. Resources, requests, and limits provide a great deal of control over how resources will be allocated. In this video, we will talk about what resource requests and limits do and also demonstrate how to set resource requests and limits for a container. Kubernetes allows us to specify the resource requirements of each container in the pod spec. A container's memory and CPU requirements can be defined in terms of resource requests and limits. Resource requests the amount of resources necessary to run a container. What they do is they govern which worker node the container actually schedule on. So Kubernetes is getting ready to run a particular pod and is going to choose a worker node based on the resource requests of a pod container. Kubernetes will use those values to ensure chooses a node to actually have enough that resources available to run that pod. If we also have ability to specify resource limit, which kind of limit maximum value of how much resource that containers in that pod are going to use, and if the container above the maximum value, it's likely it will be killed and restarted by the Kubernetes cluster. So resources limit just provide a way to kind of put some constraints on how much resource your container are allowed to use and prevent certain containers from consuming a whole about resources, running away with all the resources in your cluster, potentially causing issues our containers and application as well. So I am going to show you some implementation, basically resource requests and limits in a pod. Now I am going to give a description on this VI my resource pod.ml. I'll give the content as API version v1 pod metadata description. I will give the pod name and spec section container information container key and name of container my app container. Here just a simple pod called my resource pod running the busybox image, and I am the adding resource requests and limits I can do inside the container spec. I just adding resources I should be used, then I added a request. My request is so going to set memory and CPU. Memory 64 megabytes, so that means this container can be used about 64 megabytes, and CPU requests 250 millicores. The way this content works, 250 M means 250 milli CPUs, and I set limits and adding memory CPU here. I am going to put a memory 128 megabytes for that limit, so we expected to use 64 MB. If however jumps up above 128 MB, this container is going to be killed and potentially restarted, and CPU limit will be added 500 m core limit, millicore limit that can be hit. The limit cluster is going to limit accordingly. Here memory is measured in bytes 64. Mi means 64 bytes. CPU is measured in cores. 250 M means 250 milli CPUs or 0.25 CPU cores. Now I am going to save this file. Then I will create a pod kubectl, apply -f, my resource pod ml. Pod was created, kubectl get pod. I will list these pods. This my resource pod is up and running successfully. When we are expecting, then I will describe this part with the kubectl describe pod, then pod name. We can see the running container resource information here. Limits, requests 500 M, 128 MI, and requests 250 M memory, 64 MI container. Here name, my resource pod container name, and all those things. Now you know how to give resource requirements to containers in pod spec. Please subscribe my channel for further videos. If you have any queries, give a comment and share my videos and like my videos. Thank you.